Welcome everybody to the Indie Pod Podcast. I'm your host, Super Joe Parr. That's what my name says down here in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. If you are watching this, I know it's not live. It is recorded. I apologize. I do want to continue to do more live shows. Time has been a little crazy, but the guest I have today to bring to you is going to be so much fun. She is been in the podcast world for I believe about a year, and she's awesome. Got to hang out with her and her husband down at Podfest back in when life was normal. And what we're going to talk about today is how to create your online courses in a world of the new normal. And before I get to that, before I introduce our guest's name, I got to let you know that this episode is brought to you by Podbean. Podbean is an easy and powerful way to start podcasting. They give you all of the tools you need for a successful podcast, such as unlimited podcast hosting, podcast distribution, monetization options for podcasts of any size, and live stream podcasting capabilities. Sign up today at www.podbean.com. That's PODBEAN.com. At this time, I need you to give a big, warm welcome to our guest this week, Veronica Davis. Woo!
Woohoo!
What is up,
Latina in
Veronica?
the house.
Love it, love it.
Thank you so much. That was a very nice introduction. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Veronica, give some people some more background about yourself and your podcasting journey.
Okay, so like I just said, I'm a Latina. I am from Colombia. I moved here to the States 15 years ago, so it's been a while. I came here to pursue a career in law, and I was practicing law for a while, but it wasn't giving me the fulfillment I wanted for my life, and I I was miserable. I wasn't very happy with what I was doing, what I was doing, and I just needed a change because I was approaching my 40s. In the meantime, my husband, Steven, he was living his best life. He was creating, he was working on projects that he was passionate about. And he produced a podcast, The Story of Sandra Marie. And he was just having a lot of fun with that. And I would come home and he would be happy telling me about all these projects and his clients. And so one day I told him I want to be part of that. Maybe I can come and help you with the business side of podcasting and helping you to get more clients and give you a structure because he's a creative, so he's very all over the place and disorganized. So I quit my job a year ago and I started working with Steven and we created our company. But little did I know that I was gonna be behind the microphone and that I was going to turn into a podcaster and that I was going to turn into a YouTuber and that I was going to be interviewed and doing all these crazy things. But I'm very, very happy that I made that decision and that I'm here right now and like even interviewing with you.
Well, we are all happy that you did as well because the content that you two are putting out is phenomenal.
No,
And,
thank you.
it's so. I don't lifelike, I guess is the word. Like it's so it's like it pops. So I absolutely love it.
Well,
You guys are
thank
doing a great
you.
job. You're
Thank you.
welcome.
We're very colorful and very loud sometimes. And we just take some creative liberties that other people, I don't know how other people would take those creative liberties, but we haven't heard any complaints so far. So far so good.
No, I love the creative liberties. They definitely set you apart from pretty much everybody else
Oh,
that's
thank
around and
you.
doing it. So no, thank you for bringing more people into the fold and that and bringing them along for this journey called podcasting that we
Oh,
all get
thank you, Joe.
to live in. You're welcome. You're very welcome. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about first off what does the new normal look like for you and for I.
Oh, wow, the new normal. Um I've been thinking a lot about that a lot lately, like how it got real for us podcasters that we are leaders of our communities. And it's not that we didn't know it before, is that you feel the weight of leadership more when you people need you in the capacity that they're needing you right now. So they need you to bring light. They need you to bring positivity. They need you to bring resources. They need you to bring skills and education and just give them hope and take their minds away from what's going on. So I didn't consider myself a leader before getting into podcasting and before, the current events. But right now, I am a leader. So I have to wake up every morning and see, how am I going to bring positivity and light and resources and whatever my community needs from me, I have to bring today. So it's been quite a journey the last few weeks to come to that realization that I'm a leader.
Is that a scary thought to you?
Um, it can be scary because people are looking up to you, and people are you can't really. I mean, you're human and you're going to fall apart, and but people are looking at you for direction, and people are looking at you for inspiration, and sometimes that can weigh you out a little bit, but it's also uh, um, such a encouraging feeling, and it empowers you to leave your fears and your obstacles and your barriers aside and step up to the occasion. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been good that way for me. This isn't about myself, and this isn't the moment to be scared and to be afraid and to go hide behind my husband. This is my time to step up and to help people to, why not to start a podcast right now, to put their ideas in audio, to put their stories on audio too. So that's it's scary, but at the same time it's very fulfilling.
Yeah, I think that the people that are willing to, like, the longer this new normal continues, right, and the more opportunity there is for people like yourself and myself to stand the test of time, right? Because it's
Mhm.
like we're all like kind of all going back to square one to a
Mhm.
certain extent, and if we disappear, then
Mhm.
then it's like, well, where were you then, right? especially
Mhm.
especially if it's
Yeah.
shorter. But if the longer it is, the more impact, like the more impactful, the longer tail of
Mhm.
our ability to stay focused on the goal of helping people and being around and being that leader will be that much, have that much longer of a tail. Like, remember that
Mhm.
time, remember
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
year ago, 2 years ago, when we were all trapped in our house for 6 months, a year.
Uh-huh.
uh,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, and
yeah.
Joe didn't stop recording his podcast, and the Pod Sound School was still showing up. I think
Yep.
yeah, I've seen, and I respect uh the way that people the different ways that people are reacting to this, because if you don't feel good right now to do that, then you don't have to. So right now we're dealing with this situation that is so new to us. I mean, in our generation, this is the first time we have to deal with a pandemic. So don't feel bad if you don't feel like showing up, if you don't feel like recording your podcast, that's okay. But just know that those 200, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 20,000 people who show up every week to listen or every other week to listen to your show are there waiting for you. They are there waiting for you. So get motivated and keep doing it. Keep doing it. That's my advice.
Yeah, and it can be difficult. I know, like I need to do more Dreamers podcast episodes.
Hmm.
It's but in the wake of this, I've done a bunch of episodes for the
Yeah.
Indie Pod podcast. I've continue to do the Business Geeks podcast
Uh-huh.
with my
And you
two
just did the
co-hosts.
conference. I mean, you do so much. You
Yeah,
never
it's also
stop.
almost too much. It is too
but
much,
but we love it.
well, thank you. I do appreciate that. I want to be able to be here to serve the people, and it's also part of my own self, like, what's the word, self-care, if you will,
Hmm.
because, like, if I stopped, like, it would not be good for anybody.
Uh-huh. I know, right? I know. And I we're so blessed to be able to do this from home. I mean, things
Yeah.
haven't changed for me and Steven because we started working from home a year ago, and he's been
Mm,
working from home the last few years. So for us, things haven't changed much, just besides the fact that the kids are here and that they demand our attention. But
yes.
we still get that contact with the community, and we experienced it this weekend when we were able to be part of your conference.
Yeah. Oh,
That
I'm so
was just
glad that you
so
guys were.
cool.
I'm also really glad that both of you spoke separately, because you both brought
Hmm.
so much to the table, and I got to experience one and then the other,
I
instead
know.
of just being like all
I
at once.
know.
And it's like, oh, it's over before you even started.
I know, like for our podcast episode yesterday that we released yesterday, it was like how he prepares for a conference and how I prepare for a conference. So it's pretty funny because he wants the technical stuff, all the technical side of it be perfect.
Mm.
And the way that he copes with the nervousness and the anxiety is like, oh, I have to go to the office store. I have to go to the office store because I have to get this thing and I have to get this cable and the cable has to be connected here. And and it's like 3 hours before he has to speak and he hasn't put his presentation together, but all the technical stuff is ready. And I was just making fun of him yesterday, like why would you go to Office Depot like 2 hours before your presentation? That just doesn't. And me, I need to have my slides with all the things that I'm going to say. They look like a notebook. They look like a notebook filled with all my notes, and then I hesitate. I'm like, should I call Joe? Should I text him and tell him that I'm not ready? That this isn't happening? And I start pulling my
No.
hair.
Oh no, that would have been so sad. That would have been depressing.
I know. So we had different ways to cope with the nervousness of presenting, but at the end of the day, we just give each other courage, and I'm like, it's okay, just let the technical stuff go and just go for it because you know your things. And he goes through my slides. Okay, you don't need to write this down, it's in your head. So we balance each other out. It's a pretty amazing thing.
No, I love it. So let's talk about creating courses and creating
Mhm.
content in general in a world that is now a bit, different than it was a month ago,
Mhm.
or so. Um,
Yeah.
so you're about to launch at this time. You're about to launch your own podcasting course, right?
Yes.
Let's talk
So
about that a little bit.
we've been planning our course since the beginning of the year.
Oh wow.
And we Friday, what is it? April 3rd, it comes. We open the course for registration. Right now we only have a wait list, and we're going to give 10% to those on the wait list. We When all this hit a few weeks ago, we thought, what are we going to do? Should we postpone it? Should we go ahead and do it? What about all the work and the market research that we have put into it, and like how we're ready? Or there's so many clients that we can take before you are pushed to uh, launch a course because you want to help a lot of people, and with doing one-on-one, there's just so many people you can help. um so we decided, okay, let's go ahead and do it. And then we started doing research, and it's surprisingly so, this is a very good time to be launching a course, um, according to the research that I've been doing, because people are at home and they have more time to dedicate to these things, to learn new skills, to learn new hobbies, or different ways of connecting, different ways of marketing their businesses, and podcasting provides a good solution for that. With that being said, there's things that we can do as far as, because of the times that we are experiencing right now, and that can be maybe to come lower on our prices a little bit. Maybe it can be in the form of scholarships for people who really want to take the course but can't afford it, or people who really have been impacted by this situation, by the COVID-19 situation. Also, just be very mindful of what's going on, and put that in the way you market your course. So we're just going to go ahead and do it. We're going to launch it and see how it goes. We're going to promote it, and I will let you know if it was a success or if it was a total fiasco.
Well, I mean, the good news is that even if it doesn't work out this to go around, you have all the information that you've put together. You've done all the planning, you've done all the research, and you can roll it out again in like 3 months when
Mm-hmm.
the world may be back to a different kind of normal.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully one that includes a lot more money in people's
Mm-hmm.
pockets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah. So
know?
that's the thing about having launching this kind of things. Um, is that we want to do it. We want to go through the experience. We want to see what works, what doesn't. We want to see how, if you don't do it, there's no way you're going to find out if your course is a good course. If you don't do it, there's no way you're going to find out if your
Oh
course
no, you
is
froze.
successful.
Oh man, Veronica.
Oh, am
Oh,
I
there you
back?
go. Okay, yeah, you
Oh,
just like
okay.
got froze with like a
Like,
face.
yeah. So if we don't launch our courses, there's absolutely no way to find out if they are going to be a success or not. So we're just gonna we have to do it and see how, and then gather data and move on. And if it is a success, then we keep it that way. If it was not a success, then we tweak it, make changes as far as the content, make changes of as far as the marketing campaign that you're doing for your course. But I think right now that we're all at home and we are so uh desperate for to be taken out of the situation, like learning a new skill. Like it's so, like this morning, I used to have a personal trainer because I'm into Muay Thai.
Mm.
And he was my personal trainer for 2 years. We're training Muay Thai. And he always had this dream about being a rapper. And he wanted to be a rapper, and he's very talented. And now that he's forced to be at home, well, guess what he's doing? He is recording, and he is going to launch his first son. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, yeah. He's going to turn into a rapper.
That is awesome. I've always aspired to be a rapper. I just
Oh, really?
never well, I mean I did a lot of poetry, and I'm friends with quite a few rappers.
Uh-huh.
I just never took the time to like do it
Oh,
per se.
it takes a skill. It's not it's not easy.
No, it is not
Uh-huh.
easy. But yeah, so I I wonder if because there's that balance, all right, of trying to find the right people who are like, I'm gonna take this time to like further myself, versus the people that are like, I'm just gonna sit home and Netflix for the next forever,
Mhm.
versus
Mhm.
the people who want to do something but don't have the money, or are scared to spend the money because they
Or
don't know if
s-
they're gonna need it like a
Mhm.
few months from now.
Mhm.
So it, it's a very weird time that we're in. So I mean,
Mhm.
trying to like, what's some of the ways that you've pivoted the course and your content to kind of make sure that it's not tone deaf on like what's going on?
Mhm. Yeah, so right now, when we thought about the idea for the course, it's the Smart and Sexy podcast launch. and we didn't change the name because we have, I mean, our on our social media and the different ways that we're marketing the course, we have smart and sexy everywhere. But we are the way that we are speaking uh to our audience is more in the way that you this is your chance to, if you've been thinking about podcasting for a while, this is your chance. This is your chance to create a podcast that is going to have a strong brand, it's going to have a strong social media presence, and it's going to sound professional. And also, this is your time to stay connected. This is the time uh to stay connected with your friends, with your employees, with your team members, with your um yeah, with your family members. This is the time to we're living in a time in history that everybody is going to remember forever. So why not having a podcast and sit down with grandma and grandpa and memorialize what they're going through, what not sitting down with your siblings, sitting down with your aunts and uncles, or with your kids that they're going through a pandemic. And
Yeah.
yeah, you have to sit down with your kids and explain what's going on, so, and how they feel isolated from their friends, and their little social butterflies, and this is affecting them too. So having having a way to express those feelings, and do that in a podcast that can, in the when this is over, that can give you an opportunity to, why not build a business out of that, or use a podcast to promote, or to market your business in a different way, because times have changed and you can go to the office, and you can do the same promotion that you used to do. So now you can do it with a podcast. So we're trying to accommodate to what we're living right now, without sounding too salesy, and without sounding too pushy, and without sounding like we're taking advantage of a calamity.
Hmm. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, so I'm offering. I'm doing a course with Samantha Riley, and we were talking.
Mm-hmm.
I brought it up during the Indie Pod virtual conference, and even that I felt kind of like I don't know. That's why the word inexpensive was in the ticker, like the ticker that's
Mm-hmm.
below here,
Mm-hmm.
or below us. Like I want to make sure that people understand, like they're we're trying to be conscious of, like, hey, this is this isn't like a $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody, price is always relative, right, to the
Mm-hmm.
people you're trying to
Yeah.
hit up for the money. So, it's just trying to find the right people, and it's just, I guess, it's not that the right people aren't out there. It's just that the right people are more scarce now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's people have been affected in different ways and they're reacting in different ways. So when you're
Mm-hmm.
putting something together, like, inexpensive might mean $10 to somebody
Mhm.
when it might have meant like $150 just like a month ago.
Mhm.
So it's tough to know. But I think that you got to have the confidence in the course and the confidence in what you're
Mhm.
putting together to, like, say, hey, like,
Mhm.
this is what you're getting, and when we do, like, we're gonna do it again too, and you're still gonna get that stuff plus all the learning, but the price is probably not gonna be as inexpensive going forward.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and I think, and I totally get it. Like, how, cuz we're like, how can we be selling right now when there's people that losing their jobs and all this is happening? Well, I think as owners of an online business, as um online courses creators, we have the responsibility to keep creating and to keep uh, selling courses, because practically that we have the responsibility of keep the economy moving a little bit when all of the other businesses are closed down because of COVID-19. Then we have the opportunity, we didn't have to close, we're still open for business, and we can make that, the economy still moving a little bit, instead of like hesitant and being like, no, nobody's going to buy. So just take that stand and be like, yes, I'm going to put my course out. And yes, it's going to be hard to sell maybe, but I'm up for the challenge, and I'm going to help the economy to keep moving, because guess what? You sell, let's say 200, 300, 500 of your courses, then what are you going to do with that money? You're going to reinvest it in equipment. You're going to be buying other things. So that's a way that we can keep the economy going a little bit, now that everything is just stopped everywhere.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely has pretty much stopped
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
and
go
it
ahead.
also, oh, again,
No,
I
no, go
froze.
ahead. No,
Oh.
no, no, go ahead.
And it also comes down to your ideal client. Like, who are you making this course for? Are you gonna making the course for, um it comes down to how much analysis you've done to how well you know this person. Is this person who is this a person who is going to take a risk and who doesn't mind investing in good education, and investing good money in good in things that are going to help, help in things that will take them to the next level, and in skills, because there's people like that they're willing to invest good money in things that will give them more skills. Or is this a person who just wants to start a podcast as a hobby, or a person who just maybe doesn't have the resources right now? So it comes down to how well do you know your ideal client, and just speak their language.
No, absolutely. I mean, it does always come back to that, regardless of if you're
Mhm.
going through a pandemic or not.
Yes, uh-huh.
so, uh, so what's been your favorite thing about podcasting, like that you've gotten to experience?
My favorite thing about podcasting. My favorite thing, I mean, I love pretty much everything. I love the fact that I am more confident, and I I can hold a microphone, and I can speak in behind the microphone and feel confident about what I'm saying. And also, um the fact that we're putting episodes, when we start our podcast, we kind of like start publishing and putting episodes out, and but then it gets real when somebody reaches out to you and tells you, thank you so much for your podcast, what you teach in your podcast, or your story has helped me so much, it has changed my life. Like, our recent comment that we got the other day, and this was because not even related to podcasting, but it was one of our YouTube videos. Like, you guys, this is what I've been looking for. So it's those moments that to feel like your work is so meaningful, and it's making an impact on somebody's life. That's the best part of podcasting for me.
Mm. Yeah. Between yeah, I mean, it always for me, it always comes back to people, right? Making an
It
impact of
always,
it.
yes.
But the
And
connections,
you
right? Like
know
getting to have
that.
these
Mm-hmm.
conversations right now with you, like that's it, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
the key to it. It's like a whole, like, you know, another level of networking that like you just
Mm-hmm.
didn't have 15 more than 15 years ago. So
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
so
it's connections, and just to be part of a community that is so full of cool people. There's a lot of cool people in podcasting. A lot of
yes.
cool people.
There absolutely is.
Mhm. And it's
So
like, where have you been? It's just like, our I'm an introvert, so it seems like we're just like the introverts here, and all of a sudden, like, we have a podcast, and now, oh my gosh, there you are. Where have you been?
yeah. So, real quick, I got to talk about the conference that's been ticking by here at the
Oh, okay.
below us about Indie PodCon 6. We plan on still having it. We'll know hopefully by like June, July, if it's
Hmm.
going to be a physical event or if it's going to have to migrate into a virtual event. My full intention is to make it a physical event. It's still
Hmm.
and not have to, because we probably won't push it back. We I don't think, but we will go virtual if we absolutely have to. Things that are included with your ticket is things like after parties, lunch on Saturday, and Friday and Saturday lunches, where you get to just enjoy lunch with everybody there at the event. That's included with your ticket. Free headshots, event T-shirt, virtual tickets included. And right now you can save. And this we were just talking about, selling in this climate, but if you want to save 10%, go to indiepodcon.com/register and use offer code IPP to save 10% off of your ticket. I believe there is a refund policy on there. So I want to work with people. I want to make this happen in the face of all of this craziness that's going on. So there's so much. There's gonna be courses on Thursday. Hopefully you, Veronica, and Steven will be hosting a course.
Yes, 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 yes.
That's
We're
my
planning
hope.
on being there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to have you there. Hopefully you'll be hosting a course on Thursday. I'm working with a bunch of people to try to have more courses rather than just me doing two courses, because honestly it's a lot of work for me and it's
Hmm.
going to be exhausting to do like a course back to back, and then Friday the conference actually starts, plus a
Hmm.
nighttime party on Thursday. It's just too much. So
Hmm.
I'm really hoping that some people step up and want to be a part. You can hang out in one big room. It's not like, oh, you're all like in these little rooms or whatever.
Hmm.
Everybody's in one room. It's a small hotel. It's a big small hotel, or a small big hotel, I guess. I don't know, however you want to say it, but we're gunning between 300 and 400 attendees, all in one room. So you get all the jokes, you get all of the elbow
Hmm.
rubbing with the
Yeah, you don't
people.
miss out on anything.
Yeah, exactly. You don't miss out on anything. You get to hang out with people like Veronica and Steven all weekend. Get to make friends, and expand your network and expand the growth of your show based around your opportunity to be around and learn from these awesome people. So yeah, if you want to come and be a part of this, indiepodcon.com/register. This is our 6th event. If you haven't watched any episodes prior to this or know anything about IndiePodCon, it would be awesome to have you. And actually, I got to give a shout out. So I renamed. Oh, I didn't do it here, but I am renaming the IndiePodCon or bundle, because it was the MapCon 2015 to 2018 like conference bundle. So you get 4 years of conference videos, learn how to podcast, over 44 hours of video. Now includes the virtual conference from this past weekend.
Oh.
And you can get it for just $33 if you go to indiepodcon.com/bundle and type in virtual for your offer code. So you get 66% off. Normally it's $100, and it's going. I'm changing it to the Icon Lifetime Virtual ticket, because the previous year will be added to that bundle going forward, on the Gumroad like download section. So you're always going to be able to get access to that next conference, but you'll have to wait a year. So if you want to get it sooner, it's like $150 for just that conference. But right now you can get the previous 4 conferences plus the virtual conference for just $33. To me, it's kind of a no-brainer especially if you're just getting started in podcasting.
Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, Veronica, how has podcasting changed your relationship with Steven in the last year?
um, it has allowed me to see him in at a different capacity for sure. I think my level of admiration that I used to feel for you has tripled, because he is just a very talented human being with a very impressive work ethic. He's very creative and very resourceful and just talented at what he does, and he learns so quick. I can tell him, hey, I this so this weekend I want my video to look like this and do this and these colors, and he just, yeah, even if he doesn't know how to do it, he trains himself. And shot the video over the weekend. We shot the video over the weekend, and then he puts all the things that I want to have in the video, and it's done. And I don't even ask him, like, how do you how do you do that? But he's that good. um it had created uh, yeah, podcasting together has created like this level of intimacy too, because we put the kids down for the night and we put the baby down, and then we come here to the studio and we record, and it's just kind of like our time to be creative and our time to be together. And it's been fun that way too. It's been challenging too, because we have very strong personalities, and we're very opinionated, and sometimes we get into these arguments over things that don't even matter, but I always win. The wife always wins. So yeah, and it's been a challenge to put aside some of the, okay, now I'm going to take off my wife hat and I'm going to put on my business partner hat. And now I'm your business partner, and we are here, we're having a meeting about our business, or we're having a meeting about our content, or how are we going to plan certain things about the business. So even if I'm mad at you because you didn't do the dishes, then I'm going to leave that aside. And right now we're business partners. So even though we're in the house, we work from home, we separate our roles for the sake of our business. Because if you're gonna bring, your grudges and the things that you're frustrated about with your partner to the business, then the business is not going to grow, because those are little things that will impede in the growth of your projects and your business. So it's being smart about that.
Mm.
That takes a lot of practicing. We're getting there. We're not all the way there. We're getting there.
Well, it's always a process, and it's always a learning experience whenever, changing the dynamic,
Hmm.
working together and all that. So no, I applaud you for not only doing it, but trying to do it and trying to make it work and trying to figure out the best way to not kill each other in the process.
Yeah. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah.
um,
Pretty much.
so when you so like I've created a bunch of courses over the years, and I'm actually thinking about creating a few more courses that I have some time to do it. What's some of the things that you think about, other than like obviously the person you're trying to create it for, but like what's some of the things that you try to create? Because like I think for me, I always feel like I'm going to leave something out, or like especially if it's a digital course, right? Like it's a video based course. Like, do you how do you avoid the, am I missing this, or am I missing, like, am I not adding enough, or am I not trying hard enough, or something to that effect?
Hmm. That's a very good question. And we are going through that same predicament right now, because we don't want to create something that people will feel overwhelmed and ultimately fail miserably. We want people to succeed, and at the same time we don't want them to be cheated, or that they pay for something that didn't add any value. So we're trying to find that balance. I think we've been long enough in the podcasting industry, and we took the time to go to conferences, and we've been, watching you and watching people who have been in the business for so long and learning about, their experience and the way they approach podcasting and marketing and all this, that we feel pretty confident that whatever we're going to put in a course, it's gonna be good. With that being said, like I mentioned before, you just need to do it and see how it's received. There's nothing that, I mean, that has ever been invented in this world that hasn't gone through trial and error. Same with podcasting. If you don't publish that very first episode that you're so scared about because you don't sound very good, or because you're not very fluent with your words, because this is your first time speaking behind the microphone, it's fine. You just have to keep going. You just have to keep doing it, and you'll get better at it. And start with what you have. Sometimes we underestimate what we know, and we underestimate our talents, and we underestimate the knowledge and the maturity and the wisdom that we have been accumulating during years of failing and getting and we underestimate that, and we don't give ourselves enough credit and be like, I'm a badass. I'm very good at what I do, and I can teach this. I can help somebody who's just starting. So it's just, yeah, we're trying to find that balance. So
Yeah, well, it's always like a challenge, I think, to find that balance, to
mhm.
find the right message and the right um amount of information in a course, right? Because like you don't
Mhm.
want to be too advanced, you don't want to be not advanced enough, and then finding the right people to buy into said course, like there's like a lot of, and then I think the other really hard thing is to find the success stories, right? Like,
Mhm.
because like you might sell 150 of them, but only like two people, if you're lucky, will actually take it and like run
Mhm.
with it. Not just like, oh, I watched all the videos and,
Mhm.
like they're gonna take it to the next level and be transcend like what you gave to them,
Mhm.
to be like an example for exemplary example of the work that you put
Mhm.
in.
Yeah, I
So
think I see. Yeah, that can be a challenge for sure. We're not we have bad courses in the past too, and because of our busy schedules and being business owners and parents and all that,
yeah.
we go through the course at our own pace, and it's hard to show up every week and to do your homework and to do the things that they're telling you to do and all that. So I can see that as being a challenge. um yeah, I don't know how it's we'll let you know how that goes with our students. Like I said, we I think it's just to have that open communication as you go, and maybe just have a proof of concept before you launch your course. And what that it helps with is that, for example, you get module number one out, and then you have a Zoom conference, or you have a Facebook group dedicated just for your course. Then you get that feedback. Oh, no, I haven't finished. Oh, it was too hard. Or it was too, we needed more time. Then you're getting that feedback, and you apply it to the next module, because if people are getting behind with your first one, then the next one is to learn how to record and edit and all that. Then that one is going to be even more difficult. So before you create as you go, I think it will be a good methodology to do. I'm a way too much of a control freak, so I want to have everything ready and planned before we launch. But I think we're gonna have that balance and flexibility, and keep that very close relationship with our students to see to change and adapt things.
No, I think that's definitely a great approach to to just to keep it close. And I think in this time, I think people are going to respond much better to that than like, here's a 10-step video course to like create your podcast. Like, cool. I guess my question to you is how do you get over the idea that like there's a lot of those courses already in the market. You know,
Mhm. Yeah.
what do you what's your take on that?
Um
And not just that course, obviously. I'm talking about in general. Like, I'm
in
gonna create
general, yeah,
the
there's just
course
so
on blah
many.
blah blah. Like, and there's already like 15 of them or 100 of them.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah,
what's
I think it's just bringing what makes a course different is the teacher, the instructor. So it's what you bring to the table is your teaching style, your creativity, your innovation, your the different ways you can approach a subject and make it more easy to understand, more digestible, more fun. I remember I had in my law school class, I had a professor for constitutional law, and we were in the same class, but we were divided among three professors, and we were learning pretty much the same about the same um, subjects, the same curriculum for constitutional law. And my I was the lucky one who got into this class with this professor, and he was the best because constitutional law in law school is one of the hardest classes I've ever constitutional law and property law. They those two they gave me hell. And the way that he taught that class and the way that he was fun and that he was approachable, and he wanted to make sure that we would have fun with the subject and that we would have a level of understanding by the time we were done with his class that the other two professors didn't apply to their classes. So once again, same subject, different approach, different style. Just put a lot of your creativity, put a lot of your, I call it like secret sauce, a lot of your secret sauce, and bring your experience to the table. You know, like I've been teaching people how to start their podcast for so and so years. I am good at this. I have this framework, and I after you are done with this framework, I can, I can guarantee you that you're going to have a good quality podcast, and your podcast, um, it's going to sound different because of the way I teach the technical stuff, or the way I'm going to teach you how to edit, or it's going to have a strong branding because I'm going to bring out that creativity. I'm going to bring those things out of you this is going to that those things that will make your project stand out, that will make your project unique. So those are the things. It's the instructor is the person who teaches the course, who makes the course uh, different from the others. Like I see, um and maybe this is not a good example, but Amy Porterfield, we just took her course, and it's about launching online courses, and of course she's Amy Potterfield. But uh, it's like I had the option to go with another instructor and her. I'm like, okay, well, and then I kind of saw their teaching styles, and I'm more Amy Potterfield, so I'm going to go with Amy, even though they were promising the same. They're very strong in that industry, and you just go with teaching styles.
Yeah. No, I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a good reminder for people to keep in mind, because like sometimes I guess we're attuned to the idea in like college and high school, like there's the teacher at the school. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
there's only one teacher teaching that
Uh-huh.
class, and that's
Yeah.
all you get. Like maybe two or three, but then
Mm-hmm.
but even then it's like unless you go and do some review, looking up of the teachers, like you're pretty much like, oh, well, or they fit my time spot that I can make it to the
That
class
I
because work
yes.
around my
Uh-huh.
schedule. that's
Mhm.
that's who I got. That's how I picked you. not
Mhm. Yes.
not
And
like
that's the
full buffet.
beauty. That's the beauty of online courses is that you can choose. There's people in our industry that will have uh that will say, "Okay, I want to be taught by Joe because Joe gets me."
As I yawn.
Yeah, Joe gets me. He knows what I need. I like his approach. I like his teaching style. I am going to go with Joe.
Hmm.
There's going to be other people that will be like, we like the School of Podcasting. Because
Yeah, 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 yeah.
we like Dave Jackson, and I want to be taught by Dave.
The Dave
The I
Jackson.
want to be taught. Yeah, I want to be taught by the Dave Jackson. And there will be other people in our wanting to learn about podcasting that found us through YouTube, and they're used to watching our YouTube videos, and they're used to our teaching style. Okay, I want these people to teach me about podcasting because I can understand them in every single video that they post on their YouTube channel, and
Yeah.
I want to be taught by the Pod Sound School. So it comes to our teaching styles and to our personalities and how we connect with our students.
Mm. No, absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. So before we wrap up here, Veronica, is there any last thoughts you'd like to give on the new normal, or creating your podcast school, your podcast course, and then of course I want you to plug all that, plug the course, and hopefully we can get some people to sign up.
Oh, um, my the last thing I want to say is, just hold on to the things that make you feel good inside. Hold on to your kids. Hold on to your partners. Hold on to your dog, to your cat. Just wake up every day and just hold on to those things that make your heart burst with love. And as far as our course, we open registration April 3rd, tomorrow. I don't know when this is gonna come out.
Probably maybe today or tomorrow actually.
So April
We'll
3rd,
see.
it's called Smart and Sexy Podcast Lunch, and you can find it at podcastingsmart.com. And yeah, it's going to be an intensive 6-week course, and you're going to be learning from me and from Steven. And I am going to be teaching from how to develop your idea, how to find a name, how to do market research, how to plan your podcast, your episodes, how to have your brand established, and how to get into social media with a strategy that works, Instagram and Twitter. And then Stephen is gonna take over the course and teach all the technical side of podcasting, and how to find the gear that's good for you, and all the editing stuff that he knows so well. And we're very excited, and yeah, and we'll see how it goes.
That's so. I don't think you've mentioned. Is this a live course, in person course, like not in person, but like
Mhm.
video course, or is it like all pre-recorded, or
It's
how's it
gonna
being?
it's gonna be pre-recorded, so it's gonna be videos and things to download. We are doing it on Kajabi, so when you buy the course, you're gonna have access to a Kajabi account. You have to create a Kajabi account, and that way you can access the course that way. And it's going to be drip week by week, and it's going to be a combination between videos and tutorials and instructionals and PDFs for people to download.
Awesome, awesome,
Hmm.
awesome, awesome. And did you say where people can go to sign up again? Say it again if you
Yeah.
already did.
Okay. So it's podcastingsmart.com.
Awesome. I love that. I'm
Hmm.
surprised that was available. That's awesome.
I know, right?
That's
You're like,
great.
oh, she took it.
No, I have more than enough domains at this point. They are
I know.
fully shaking me down year after year for the amount of domains that I have.
You're the domain king.
It's an addiction. Oh man, it's not. But it's all about ideas in the future, like things I'd like to do if
Yes.
I had time and all
Hmm.
that. So, like an insurance policy in case I get bored at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, Veronica, thank you so much for taking the
No,
time
thank
to come
you.
and record and to tell people about how to go about creating a course and making sure that they're doing the right things and thinking about framing it in the right uh framing it correctly for themselves to
Mhm.
feel like they have worth in the conversation for it. So,
Mhm.
thank you so much for all that.
No, thank you, Joe. You're so sweet.
Oh, you're
Thank
well.
you.
Thank you, and you're very welcome. Before we get out of here, you can go to indiepodcon.com/register to get your Icon 6 ticket. And this episode is brought to you by Podbean Live. Podbean's live stream is a unique platform for turning your podcast production into a live show and is open to any podcaster on any hosting site. Easily invite co hosts and guests to join the live stream, earn money from live show ticket sales, and get listener rewards. And engage your audience in new and exciting ways. Ready to get started? I'm ready to get started. You ready to get started, Veronica?
Yes, I am ready.
Yes. Sign up today at www.podbean.com/live. That's podbean.com/live. Everybody, I hope you're all having a great week so far. I hope that your food is staying stockpiled and your families are all safe. Thank you again, Veronica. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you
Thank you, Joe.
all next week, Wednesday at 8 o'clock at night.